Thanks for joining Curb Culture. This is our third episode, and I'm so excited. I'm going to be interviewing Kaylee from Catchy Curbs. She is a inspirational curb painter because she started when she was in school and throughout her entire school career managed to run her curb business. She is one of the most driven individuals I've come across, and so excited that she is able to accomplish everything that she has. And I can't wait to have a conversation with her and really figure out like what was going on in her brilliant mind for so long and how her business was able to grow the way it has. I mean, she's amazing. So, with that being said, I'm totally stoked to have Kaylee here from Catchy Curbs. So, let's get into it. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. It's Jillian from Curb Culture, and we are on our third episode today. I am so excited to have Miss Kaylee from Catchy Curbs. And if you don't mind introducing yourself and telling us where you're from and how long you've been in the business.
Yes, ma'am. So my name is Kaylee Mahaffey. I'm from Oklahoma and I've been in the business for 6 years.
Awesome. And where do you serve it?
Well, I service in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Actually, I go up to like an hour away.
And how long have you been doing this? I'm sorry. 60.
6 years.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
You're the OG.
I know.
That's awesome. I have invited Kaylee on the show today because she has started her business obviously 6 years ago. And what are you, 18 or 19 now?
18,
Meaning you started at 14?
12.
Wow, that's insane. I'm so grateful to have you here to tell us how that journey went, how you started, what made you get into the industry, and what kept you going through all these years.
Yeah, so I started just because I always had like a ethic from a very early age. I was a race car driver and I just was always just trying to do something. And when I was 12, I couldn't get hired at a grocery store yet. I couldn't get a job yet. And I just had to do something that I could just start whenever. I was on YouTube Shorts, weirdly enough, not TikTok, I know, but I saw one video and it was like, if you have $50, you can start doing this today. And it was
Oh,
just,
wow.
curb address painting. And I was like, you know what? I got $50. And
Mhm.
then I went down to Lowe's. It's like Home Depot if you're not
Yeah.
familiar with it.
Close.
And I got my supplies and I started painting curbs.
You were 12 years old. That's insane. So, what grade was that? Sixth grade?
Don't ask me. I don't remember.
So, when you started at the age of 12, about how many curbs did you do a week?
Yeah, so, I painted the curb first. It looked horrible, but I still posted it on my neighborhood page that I
Yeah.
was in. And I don't know why I was on Facebook when I was 12, but I was, making business moves, I guess. So I got on the group, posted advertisement, and then a lot of neighbors let me do theirs for free. And then once I got like a good look, like I charged like $10 at first, and I would
Yeah.
just go door to door. And then eventually just up my prices. And for like around 2 years, I went door to door, and I had a
Wow.
one of those toddler wagons, that's what I carried all my stuff in, and I
Oh,
just
that's
walked
awesome.
everywhere.
Let's talk a little bit more about this experience. So, how did you manage your time between your homework, like school events, your friends, and then your business? How did you navigate all of that?
So that time was actually I started like a year before COVID, I believe in 2019. I was homeschooled at the time, so I
Oh,
guess that helped out. But when I went back to school, I would just, change and then drag my wagon down the street and knock on doors.
not a lot of curb painters want to go knock on doors nowadays, with all the social media. So,
There's no point to it. I personally believe that's not the method anymore just because you look outside and there's so many door-to-door salesmen and that's what they're doing for a living. And it makes people not want to answer their doors anymore, no matter how
yeah.
presentable you look, no matter
Mhm.
how fancy you look. Like it's just not worth it in my opinion anymore.
I agree. I agree. I mean, it's different if you're like walking and you see them outside and you're like, hey, like a little bit different. Eli had mentioned that last episode that she would like to catch them outside football season or something when they're in good mood. I don't
Yeah,
believe.
no, I believe in that. If there's neighbors, I definitely will go up to them. But, I say that, but I kind of let people come to me. I don't know,
Yeah.
it's just like I believe
No,
in that, like, attraction.
absolutely. You don't need to really go look out for a lot of business because you have such great work. It's really they're attracted to your work.
Well, I
And
appreciate that, it means a
yeah, of
lot.
course. No, I think you're amazing. I loved the softball. I was a softball player for like 10 years.
I appreciate that, it was not fun to do, but I'm glad it turned out pretty.
So when you started, were you doing curb art or was it just numbers?
Yeah, so I was really creative. I was a tightwad, if you'd put it from 12 to 15, I would say. I saved my money,
Wow.
so I didn't put anything back into the business. I had for like 1 to 2 years, I had red paint, white paint, black paint, orange paint.
Yeah.
And then I had blue and yellow, and it's because it's just OU, OSU football teams, CU,
Yeah.
college. So I kind of navigated by using just the cardboard for a while,
Hmm.
and then I didn't start getting into the like artistic start side of things up until a year or two ago.
Oh, wow. Yeah. What made you change to the more artistic stuff?
So I watch a lot of like business to videos, and I was
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, I have competition. You might know Tim Justice, he used to be in the group. Steven Turner, you might know him. But I have a few competitors and I need to do something differently.
I feel like the curb community, it keeps us accountable to like do better. And it
Yeah.
also like pushes us to do better because we want to impress each other almost, you know? I'm sure we've all inspired somebody at some point.
Yeah, the community is great. Like
Yeah.
I consider everyone my friend in that group. It's nice to have somewhere you can go because it's such a niche,
Yes.
hobby, job that the community really makes up for it because
Um,
everyone's amazing to talk to. You can learn something new from everybody. No matter if
exactly.
they've been painting for 6 months or 4 years, it doesn't matter.
I totally agree with that. So you were homeschooled for 2020, but you weren't homeschooled your whole entire schooling
No.
just for
Yeah.
the COVID. How was that?
I mean, I think it was a lot of character development,
Yeah.
but I went to school for, I believe, 2 years and then I stopped going my junior year and just fully went to trade school
Oh,
and
wow.
graduated online. I graduated
Cool.
half a year early, so I was able to
Awesome.
really focus on my business this last 2 years.
Okay, because I remember when you graduated a couple of months of like maybe how many months ago that you walked across the stage?
I walked across the stage in May, but I graduated in December.
Gotcha. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you got to walk with classmates.
Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah,
was nice. There
that's
was a
cool.
few people that were going to school online at the same time, so I got to graduate with some friends.
Yeah, when I graduated with my associates, it was during COVID, so I didn't get to walk across stage. I was, "Ugh." But I
That
graduate this
sucks
December,
major.
so I'm excited. Well, I graduated from college, my bachelor's.
Look at you go, that's amazing. You
Thank
should be
you.
proud of yourself, that's
I
amazing.
am. It's a pain in the butt. It's very hard to do, well, especially like your senior year. It gets really, really
Yeah.
tough. It's very intense. And plus, if you want to ever use what you're learning, because you go into like pretty heavy debt, like, maybe it's a good to apply yourself and to really like try to take that information in. What kind of milestones throughout your career are you proud of?
Um, I would say my biggest accomplishment was painting. I don't Do you know the movie The Outsiders by chance?
Yes, my daughter is obsessed with The Outsider.
So I painted the house in the movie.
Wow.
The memorial house or like Tom Cruise was in it, like, it's just like
Yeah.
the stage house, and I
Yeah.
got to paint that curb, and
Wait, wait, wait. You got to paint that actual house?
yes, it's the
Oh, but
actual
not just,
house.
like, the image, but you got to paint the actual house?
Yes, like the
That's
house that was
insane.
filmed with, like yeah. I
Okay,
live
you're gonna have to definitely send me a picture of that because I wanna show my daughter.
Okay, I mean, if
That's
you're not gonna be impressed by it. It's the same look as in the movie, so it's just a white background with black numbers, but I had to do some research and get that font.
so
I
how
got it as
did you
close as I
land that
can. When you are working for, like, 5, 6 years, and also me being this young has an advantage because they see most of, like, our generation is like, "All these kids," but
right?
it's nice to stick out, but
Yeah.
I landed that job. They just, they texted me on my Facebook page and
Oh. That's
I was
incredible.
over the moon about it, it just finally felt like all the hard work pays off because people think this, industry's easy. It's not. I put a lot of time and labor into this. And then another milestone was definitely hiring an employee felt really good. It felt really good.
You said what? You hired an employee?
Yes, ma'am.
What? So when did that happen?
Over the summer, so it's actually a great story. The
Cool.
girl I was best friends with all of middle school. She used to knock doors with me because
Really?
she lives in a nice neighborhood, so we used to knock at her, and she used to help me out.
That's
So
awesome.
I technically kinda started it with her, and then I hired her again, 6 years later, so she does my, stencil work, so if
Oh,
the non-curb painters are viewing this, basically, when you have custom work like I have, you have to use a machine and you have to cut the stuff out, and it takes a lot of time, and it was taking 8 hours out of my week, 8 to 12 hours, and I was like, "What if I just pay somebody hourly to sit in the comfort of their own home, do whatever you wanna do, and you can just cut the stencils, and it saves me I
so
make
much
what I
time.
pay in like an hour and a half, so it saves me time is money,
Yeah.
that 8 hours I could be painting curbs for 8 hours.
My mind's actually blown right now. I never thought about that. That's such a good idea. I always struggle with, like, how can we get employees? Like, how are we gonna make our job easier? That is a great solution, seriously. So, how's that been working out? Have you been able to knock out more curbs that way?
Yes, and it's also way more refreshing because, people don't realize, like, personally, I paint curbs Monday through Friday from sunrise to sundown. I don't care how many I have that day, they're gonna get done, and that's a priority to me. And I don't wanna go home at 7 PM to be peeling stencils till 10 PM and then go to school the next morning for 3 hours, paint curves. So, I watch a lot of podcasts about, discipline
Mhm.
and how to become better and successful because with inflation rising and just the, state of the world right now, it's
Yeah.
hard to go have an hourly job and have some fun money, and I feel like life's meant to have fun, so you have to think of different ways to have more time because time is money. You can be making, 4 grand a week, but you're working 70 hours. You can't
Yes.
spend that money, so you have to find ways for money to make itself.
Yeah. That's great. That's great advice. Thank you for that. I'm actually super impressed.
Well, I
Wow.
appreciate
Okay. You're killing it. I gotta say that. You're killing it.
Thank you.
I will say Austin, Texas has no business right now. I don't understand.
Come on, Austin, let's get
I
going.
know. Literally, like, what do you start your curbs at?
Okay, I start so black and white basically 40 for one, 60 for
Right.
two. But if they're like in like a 3 mile circumference, which I live in an area with a lot of neighborhoods around me,
Mhm.
I'll do 50 for two.
50 for
And
2? Yeah, I've done
yeah,
that. I started 25, per side, pretty much. What is the farthest that you've ever had somebody ask you to do a curb?
I've had somebody, it was like a random town in Texas,
Yeah.
but I don't know how it came about, but I actually ended up helping them paint their it was just for mailbox numbers, and I, helped them, I FaceTimed them, taught them how to
Oh, you
fill them
talked them through
in.
it.
Yeah, cause yeah, it's it doesn't take anything to paint some numbers in, and I would want that if I was a homeowner.
Well, I'm hoping that this podcast is gonna make a awareness for other curb painters now that you know Kaylee's at Tulsa, right? Oklahoma. And then we had Eli in Vegas, and then we had a continuous flow in Florida. And then I'm in Austin. If you ever get any inquiries, you now know some people all over the US, which I
Yeah,
love that. I absolutely love that. I think it's so cool that not one of you guys lives in my city and I've been able to like talk to people from across the United States. It's so cool, and like I just feel like again, the community is one of the best things about curb painting too, is just having these people to fall on. Especially after what happened to me today. I feel like everybody was like had the most encouraging words for me, and I don't think I've ever gotten like a response from even my close friends that I like grew up with. So And again, yeah, the original curb painting group is like another shout out to you guys. Like y'all are the best.
Yeah,
Every
shout out
single
to
one of
them.
y'all.
They're amazing.
Yeah. Let's go into what are some business skills that curb painting taught you that school did not teach you?
I would say the independency of it when everything relies on you, it gives you way better feedback of what and what not to do. And it's like the reliance on, for me, I started as a kid. My
Yeah,
mom does everything for me. I don't have any house duties, like, but I'm running a business by myself. It
right.
teaches me, to be responsible. And school honestly didn't teach me anything. I don't remember nothing from school.
Same.
My teachers didn't help me because I, like, literally had a learning disability. They didn't wanna help me still. So I was like, "You know
Mhm.
what? I'm not coming back tomorrow," and I didn't go back.
Oh, really? And that's when you went off to your trade school? What trade did you go
I'm in
learn?
welding.
Yes, welding, I forgot. How is that going?
It's amazing, and honestly, curbs helped me welding so much because
Oh,
if you're a curb painter, you know what I'm talking about. When your numbers have overspray, especially if you don't use vinyl, you gotta, have that steady hand,
yeah.
and welding, you have to have a steady hand.
Yeah.
So, my hand's very steady now. I can draw a straight line.
That's awesome. Okay, so you're saying that your actual art skills
I guess that's the big
improved.
word for it.
Yeah, it's not a big one. But yes, yes, yes. Okay, so your art skills improved. I actually don't know a lot about welding, but welding is a really highly desired, trade,
Yeah,
and that's amazing. You're gonna make some money. I already know that.
I'm hoping.
So have you graduated yet, or are you're still
I
working on that?
graduate in May. I've been in trade school for 3 years. First year was construction, introduction to construction. I learned every trade, and then last year was
Good.
welding, this year's welding, but I get the job out in January.
Yeah. Are you gonna go work for a company, or are you thinking about continuing to be your own boss?
Well, I'm gonna throw in some advice here, don't be ashamed where you work at, because 'cause I've worked at restaurants in the last 2 years. I'm working at Outback right now.
Oh,
You can learn skills from any job. It doesn't
yeah,
matter what you're doing. A job matters. And I believe like I'm meant to be a business owner. I
yeah.
have the knowledge. I have a lot to learn still. I'm young, but
Mhm.
that's what I'm going to be. And I know
Yeah,
that. I
yeah,
have some business ideas going on in my head
cool.
of businesses I want to start, but ultimately I'm trying to get just a good hourly paying job.
Yeah.
And then eventually I hope to move to Texas and work on the pipeline because that's just a dream of mine. And then I want to
Texas,
open
where
a
at?
business. I don't know. My family lives in Houston, but
Oh,
well, like
really?
family members live in Houston, but Dallas is pretty chill.
Dallas is
Dallas is
cool.
pretty chill.
Yeah, Dallas is cool. Well, Austin's not so bad either. I'm just
Yeah, Austin's good.
ATX, no. Like, we're the capital. No, Austin is the capital, yeah. No, it's, honestly, Austin has been a really great city for me. My family's from Dallas, so I've gone up there a lot, but in Houston, I've visited a few times, have some funny memories from them. But, in NASA was fun. Did you go to NASA
No, I want to. I'm obsessed with
space?
space.
Me
I'm
too.
obsessed with planes.
Yeah.
I really want to work at American Airlines.
Really?
Yeah, I really want
That's
to work
funny.
there. It's a great company.
Let's go into some of our segments, okay? Our first segment is Curbs Across America. So I would love to hear again where you service and what kind of extreme weather. How are you able to continue your business year round with these extreme weather conditions?
Okay, so yeah, in Oklahoma, it's pretty straightforward. It's going to be cold or hot, no in between.
Okay.
You'll wake up, put a jacket on, cold, cold. You're going to go outside 3 hours later and you're going to be really, really hot. Oklahoma,
Texas too.
yeah, I think it's just the Midwest, but,
Yeah.
it gets super, super hot here in the summer. Probably not as hot as Texas, but we do reach around 103, 104. Year round, I'm not year round. I have never
Okay.
been year round. Unfortunately, that's a goal of mine, but
Yeah.
there's steps in life.
Right.
But I work from spring to fall. So I'll probably be ending my season by October.
Okay. Well, that's good to know, and that's definitely something that people could consider because when you're not doing it full time. you can do the seasons, and that way you're not hurting yourself with these extreme weather conditions. Also, paint obviously is not gonna dry properly in any of those extreme weather conditions. Anyways, but if you watched the last episode, Eli gave us some advice on using striping paint. So, and I just bought the striping paint.
I use it every curb. It makes a
I used a lot of
difference.
gloss for a long time. See, this is why I need you guys. This is why
Yeah.
we all need each other.
No, yeah, you can call or text me anytime for any advice
Thank
because
you.
I know the ins and outs of it,
Yeah.
what not, but everyone has their own rhythm with it because there's some things people do that no one thinks of.
Curb Confessions is basically your wildest story. I'd love to hear good, bad, ugly, whatever story. Let's hear it. Your curb
Okay, we'll
confession.
start with bad. We'll start
Okay.
with bad and we'll end with good. So, my worst experience, we're gonna name it yellow Rust-Oleum paint. So, I was painting this curb and it was already taking me forever. If you paint, you know what colors do. They don't dry.
Yeah.
And I was painting this, modern, blocky curb. It just looked crazy. And I was picking my spray cans up, bringing them to the next curb or the other side of the driveway, and the yellow one dropped and it busted all over the concrete.
I've had that happen.
Well, I've had black happen too. Actually, that one's probably worse and I forgot about it. The yellow concrete, I grinded it all out. I cleaned up everything. Don't you guys worry. But I had a diamond grind it.
Oh my gosh, that's tough. I'll drop my can sometimes. I dropped the straight edge knife paint scraper
Yeah.
onto a brand new can, and it
Ooh.
pierced it, and then it just was exploding. So
And you can't stop it, like,
no, you cannot.
the pressure's so bad.
God, that's the worst. I was full of black paint. I just had, and it was a full can, you guys. The tallest, like,
Yeah.
Rust-Oleum.
We have
Horrible.
the same origin story with that, cause the same kinda
Yeah,
can, the black Rust-Oleum,
yeah,
big can, silver can, it dropped, like, that was before the yellow paint, and it
yeah.
went all over the curb concrete. So, yeah,
Yeah, the
but
customer that I accidentally sprayed it everywhere, she was the kind of person that would come out there and be like, "Oh, that line's not straight. Can you straighten that?" Yeah, and so I was, like, panicking because what am I gonna do? And I think I used, like, nail polish remover to get a lot of it out.
mm,
I mean, I think I used my grinder too, but it wasn't, like, totally terrible. A lot of it went on the grass, but
I use the nail polish remover when I get home if my gloves pierce and I got paint on my hands.
totally a clutch, right? I love it. Really cleans the stencils too.
We need to put the group onto that because I bet a lot of men don't know about that.
So true. I didn't know that baby wipes were amazing until I had a baby. So there's just things you don't know until you are forced to use them. Like guys probably don't know anything about this nail polish remover. So you guys, nail polish remover, it's where it's at. It literally is.
Or or go to the dollar store and get these gloves, and
Mhm.
they're exfoliating gloves,
Oh wow.
and I'll, like, rub my fingernails under them. 'em. I'll just, like, do this with
Yeah,
my hands, and it gets all that paint way
such a good
easier.
idea.
Fast orange is good, but
So, really quick, we're going to do the last segment, which is humble curbs. So, we're going to compare and contrast here. So, here's Kaylee's first curb. Definitely can see it's the first one. And then here's her newest curb, which is amazing. Is it not so good? My gosh. Wow. So, what a difference. I can definitely see the improvement. And I mean, obviously, that was 6 years ago. So tell me a little bit about your first curb and how you felt about it.
so I felt cocky about it because
Nice. I love that.
I watched the YouTube videos for, like, 5 minutes. I was like, "This is so easy." And I got duct tape. I sprayed so close. Like, it's on
Some of them are getting like they look just like stickers. They are so beautiful. Like
I
yours looks
know.
like a sticker. I mean,
Oh, thank you. I don't think so, but, like, thank you.
I feel like curb of art has been like sticker status for a long time too.
Yeah,
Yeah, their shit's good.
there's
Just
so many good
so many,
painters.
so many, and it's everyone's getting better and better. So, is there anything that you want to give to beginners or any curve painters? Any tips, tricks, or words of wisdom?
Yeah, so one thing how I help someone else start painting curbs is there's these cement blocks at Home Depot or Lowe's, and they're cheap. They're like $2 to $3, and if you put them together and, like, just, like, tape them together or
Yeah,
whatnot, you could practice using your grinder. You could practice, actually painting on concrete, and it's a
right.
lot better than cardboard. And yeah, that's just like a little tip if you haven't
That's
thought
great.
about it. It's better than going to ruin somebody's curb like I did.
Yeah. Well, what would be cute is if you went back there, like, 6 years later and was like, "Hey, can I do your curb again?"
I've tried, but they've never answered their door again, so
I have a quick question. Have you built a list with your clients that you get online, like a little contact list or anything? Because that's something I'm trying to do. It's a way to
contact.
keep them in the loop, sending them newsletters or updates or any deals you might have. Yeah. Well, consider it because I started doing that. And I think it's a really great way for people to be able to stay in touch so that you can do it again.
I definitely have people on Facebook, but I don't have a contact list just because I
Yeah.
like during the week, like on the
Maybe your
busiest.
I'd say your employee could start doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice, but I don't think I'd have enough space in my phone because I think I
I
paint.
meant like an Excel sheet.
Oh, like an Excel sheet.
Yeah.
I have not thought about that.
Yeah, an Excel sheet, and that's all you need to do is just keep adding their info, and then that way you can literally copy and paste and then send it mass email out.
Yeah, I think we all should probably start doing that. That's a great idea. Because when 2 years pass, or 2 to 3 years, and that stuff starts, fading away, or somebody tire marked it, they didn't get out
Mhm.
it quick enough.
Exactly.
Like, I think that's a
Exactly.
great idea.
I could even send a template out, you guys, if you are interested in that. I really want Curb Culture to be a resource center as well, you know?
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming and being on our show. It's just been a pleasure, and I told you whenever I first reached out, you are inspiring, and so I'm so
Well,
happy
thank
to have
you.
you here and tell everybody about your story, and it just couldn't have been any better, so thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure talking to you and meeting you and talking to the viewers, and I'm
Yeah.
glad I could put some inspiration out there.
Yay. Okay, let's pound it, Curb culture. Okay, great. Thank you.
Hi guys, my name is Kaylee Mahaffey. Thank you so much for tuning in today. You can now listen on Spotify or anywhere else you get your podcast from. Don't forget to hit that follow button while you're at it so you don't miss any future drops. And we look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Thank you.